Okay, we're going to look at the poem A Leisure Center is Also a Temple of Learning by Sue Boyle. I think this is a really beautiful, it's an erotic poem, it's really suggestive. I think it's a good poem to compare to Eat Me. Let's start to get into it. The honey-colored girl in the woman's changing room is absorbed in making her body more beautiful. I mean, this is such a great opening. Honey implies, sorry, you know what, we should look at the title first. A leisure center is also a temple of learning. Temple is worship, learning, so there's a lesson to be found here. Honey is golden, it's rich, it's luxurious, it's brown, it implies sun. You see how boring it would be to say the brown-colored girl versus the honey-colored girl. Already we get that sweetness, of course. We know where we are. We're in a women's changing room. She's absorbed in making her body not just beautiful, but more beautiful. Absorbed really implies being oblivious to everything else around her. And you see the speaker looking at someone themselves being caught up in themselves, which is a classic trope or a classic theme in poetry and art, and more beautiful. She is so, we see the speaker is just so in awe of this girl. She has flexed and toned every muscle with a morning swim and showered away the pool chemicals using an aromatic scrub and gentle exfoliant. It's the verbs really that do so much of the work in language, but flexed, toned, and then those show the movement. But then, you know, she's cleaning herself of these chemicals using now these are nouns, but they're scrub and exfoliant, and you get the sense of removing all impurity from her. Lithe as a young leopard. I mean, now we get that beautiful alliteration. Lithe, leopard. Lithe is, you know, sleek moving. We get a sense of her powerful, slow, erotic movements. She's perfect bone structure. That's a bit boring. There's no description there, but I'll give it to her. Her secret cleft is shaved as neatly as a charlatan's mustache. Now that is just extremely sexual. What an amazing way to refer to a woman's private parts, secret cleft. She's shaved. She has no pubic hair. A charlatan's mustache would be something like this, like just a really thin mustache. A charlatan is someone who lies, hides, tricks. So in the beauty and erotic power of this girl is the possibility that she might, you know, be a liar, be someone who has trickery. In dreamy abstractedness, she moisturizes, then sprays perfumes, every part that might be loved. Dreamy abstractedness. Oh, what a wonderful, ambiguous phrase. So she's lost in thoughts. Yeah. And she moisturizes, perfumes, and again, you get every part that might be loved. Might be loved by who? I mean, you see this woman is really looking closely, and one might say inappropriately, at a girl, and realizing how desirable she is, and all those parts of her that could be loved. By who? By the speaker? By this girl's own lover? Her long hands move in rhythm like a weaver's at a loom. So these similes. So we get this, it's as if she's making herself. She's constructing herself. She's like as if she's a carpet. Tip throat, under chin, the little kiss points below her ears. I've never heard that area described as such, but that's fantastic. Again, it gets more erotic, the nuzzle between her breasts. Nuzzle is a verb, but the speaker's using it as a noun. That place between the breasts, she's calling the nuzzle, and that can be both seen as comfort, but based on the other words, kiss points, secret cleft, this is again sexual, erotic. This is built up by her willow thighs, her thin thighs. Another metaphor that almost she's a plant, she's something else. She brushes her hair so clean, it looks like a waterfall. So we get all this simile. Why? To try and approximate her beauty. Because there's no sure way of doing this. We don't know for sure how we can capture someone's beauty, especially in language or in any art form. And that's sometimes we're reaching for comparisons. She's just absolutely in awe of her. Continuing the plant metaphor, we get this metaphor. A bee could sip her. I mean, she's a flower. This connects, of course, with the honey colored from the beginning. But that verb, you do so much. Sip. Who's the bee here? Is it the speaker? To sip from her flower, would that mean a sexual act? It seems innocent on the surface, this natural image, but actually when we put pressure on it, there is a sexual idea there too. She is summer cream slipped over raspberries. I mean, summer slipped berries, that alliteration again, but it's more the image. It's so simple, cream over raspberries, white and red, but it's the fact that it's summer cream and not poured but slipped. This is a charged, sexy, erotic image that suggests so much, but it isn't explicit. This isn't boring. This isn't pornography or something. This is poetry that tries to engage us in terms of desire, and to give us the sense that the speaker really desires this person. She is so much younger than the rest of us. This is such a key line now, because what we realize, firstly, is rest of us, there are many looking on. She's not just younger, she's so much. These simple modifiers, adjectives, adjectival phrases, they just give us a sense of the speaker being so distant, and also gives us the image in a room of this, if we think of a temple, this is some kind of priestess or goddess unclothing herself, cleaning herself, and all these women watching as if it's worship. And here we get the extended metaphor, really, of the whole poem, that a girl changing could be this. And now that we get this scene of all these people, we get these line breaks. We've had these steady stanzas, and all of a sudden there's a break, these solo lines. She should look around. Why? Why should she look around? Wouldn't she be disturbed by everyone looking at her? Or would she realize that they're the chorus? The chorus in Greek drama were on stage, and they commented on the action. And they would sometimes speak to the main characters and tell them, don't do that, don't go, don't look into this, you will only find misery. And they advise and talk to the main character, and the main character doesn't really listen to them often. But there's a kind of conversation with the chorus. And what the chorus knows is what happens next to her, which is clearly she will age. And I think this ending, as I've said before in these poems, the ending really gives away so much in the poem. This is a poem that tells us the speaker isn't really sexually, necessarily in terms of a sexual union, but she desires her youth. She desires the youth and beauty of this girl. Because women looking at women do that. They envy. There's an envy The envy quickly slips into desire, and we see that in this poem. And what the desire is for youth and beauty. And also maybe to destroy the illusion of this girl. That there will come a moment where it will end. And is this the lesson? Is this the temple of learning? The worshipping is worshipping of beauty, but learn something. This will end your beauty. You will not always have this. And this is perhaps the lasting theme of this poem.